Music. Do it. Do it for Ajay. Oh. Music. Do it. Music. Do it. It happened. It happened to Ajay. I want to share what happened to us. I'm someone who shares stories like this. There was a time, about 4 or 5 years ago, in the winter months. Before Gaurav and I got serious about anything, we were trying to find a match for our daughter. But every time we got close, the proposals would fall apart. People would come to the house to see her, and something would happen. They'd leave suddenly as if the life had been taken out of them. They didn't like the place. If a conversation even started, it would end right away. After a while, we realized this was becoming a pattern. We were very upset. It had been a year of nothing working out, like everything was stuck. I began to wonder why this was happening. Someone suggested there might be something on our daughter, maybe a jinx, or a blocked relationship, or that kind of thing. A woman we knew, Dr. Crystal, said it could be affecting our daughter. Someone else said perhaps a previous relationship had left an imprint. They told us to have a certain spiritual worker come over to bring him home and he would fix it. So we did that. The man they sent came with a few people. He just sat there and started talking to the family. He told his followers that nails had been driven into the 4 corners of our house, something about lower energy points, upper energy points, and certain pins placed in each corner. He said whoever had done it had hidden something in those corners. After that, things in the house started changing. We began seeing strange things with the kids. The children started seeing things. The youngest kids were playing with toy airplanes and there'd be odd noises. It felt like something was pushing against our door, the iron latch, the metal screen. It would bang hard like someone was pushing on it. Sometimes we'd go check and nothing would be there. Nothing was missing. No teacups were overturned or spilled. Nothing had actually moved yet. We'd hear loud banging and creaking as if something heavy was being dragged. At midnight there were sounds like wheels rolling, like a 4-wheeled cart going by, and there'd be a rustling as though someone was carrying something away. Random noises kept happening. Every time we checked, everything was exactly where it should be. We could hear thumps coming from the ceiling, but when we went up, nothing. The kids would be in their beds asleep, and it was as if 5 tiny people were walking across the room. It was unnerving. At first we thought, maybe we're just tired, imagining things, but even the neighbours could sometimes see or hear things. It wasn't just us. One day I was drinking water and I felt compelled to pour some out like some people do when they feel a place needs cleansing. I would sometimes pour water in certain corners. I thought maybe the dust and the dampness in the house was causing all this. Over time it seemed to get worse, honestly. Then summer came, and one night I was in a room trying to sleep. I had just been reading, trying to doze off, and I felt like someone was there. It's hard to explain. I saw, very clearly, someone come and sit beside me. They were smiling, looking at me, like in a familiar way. I couldn't speak, I just felt like whatever it was telling me, without words, to go back to bed. Go to sleep, it's late. It was a kind of gesture you make when you want someone to stop worrying and rest. For a moment I actually thought it was a person I knew. It looked like them. But when I turned to look again, there was nothing there. I didn't tell anyone right away. I didn't want to seem silly. Eventually I told my mother. She listened and told me, pray, leave it to God, give it up, don't get stuck on it, things will be okay. She said not to dwell on it and that if we did everything properly and prayed, it would pass. That's advice I clung to. Later I found out something else about the house. Before we moved in, a girl in the downstairs flat had died by suicide. She set herself on fire and locked the door. People told us that room had been sealed. After we moved in, some neighbours wondered if that event could be the cause of the strange feelings in the house. I don't know for sure, but it was something to think about. We stopped inviting the so-called spiritual workers to do more rituals in our home. We decided not to participate in that kind of work anymore, or we closed that chapter. After that, things started to calm down. We followed my mother's advice, said our prayers, and gradually the strange happenings lessened. We stuck with it. Things settled. Our prospects finally moved forward, thank God. She got married, and now, mashallah, she has 2 children. It's like the cloud lifted after we took a few important steps. We stopped doing those extra rituals and focused on our faith in a peaceful home life. People ask me, why did you believe? Was it all coincidence? My uncle used to tell me to do certain things, and maybe at the time it felt like there could be side effects when people intervened. But when the disturbances began after those rituals, it convinced us that something else was going on. If we had brought people in earlier, maybe things would have been different. I don't know. All I know is that once we stopped, the house regained its peace. Even today, some neighbours still say the house had a lot of activity. We learned that before we moved in, there had been that sad incident downstairs. Maybe that contributed. Whatever the cause, once we stopped those practices and prayed, the problem faded. We don't do that kind of thing anymore. Praise be to God, our family is fine and we have 2 happy children. Music. Do it for Ajay. Music. It happened. This happened to Ajay.